What's good, everyone? Welcome to another Washington Commander, the Aftermath, the off-season special edition. I'm here with a very special guest that I've been trying to get with for a very long time. Talking sports with Manny. Manny, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So you know how we do. We talk Commanders and everything in between. We got
Yes, sir.
a nice little show that we're gonna get started with. Until then, we're gonna hit you with that intro.
After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. That burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
Man, that intro is fire.
Hey man, I appreciate that. My brother. So this like I said, this is a off-season special edition of the Aftermath. Here with Talking Sports with Manny. All right, Manny, we not going to waste no time. We're going to get into it. All right, my first question to you, my friend, the sale of the team. Which way you think, how you feel about it? Is it taking too long? What's up?
You know, when it comes to things like outside of football, I don't put too much, thought or stress into it. But we do need to sell the team because it's going to impact the direction of the team. For example, are we bringing in a owner that's saying, okay, hey, we want Sam Howell, or we don't want Sam Howell, or Ron Rivera is not the guy. Maybe the new owner is Eric Bieniemy is the direction we want to go. So obviously, whoever that they bring in has their own direction, and literally that's the boss, right? So whatever the boss wants, the boss is going to get. Even though it's a GM's job or Ron Rivera's job right now to kind of build a team. So I'm really interested to see what kind of flair, what kind of hype comes with the new owner. Is he going to be hands-on, which I don't want, but he has to bring in a GM. If he's not going to be the guy making the decisions like Daniel Snyder was doing, then hopefully that guy can actually let a GM do their job and build his team. So,
yeah, I agree with you. I had the same thought today because I have a video that I'm going to be dropping probably a little later, talking about actually the salary cap and, which direction we're going, how we're going to create more salary cap, as we're going to extend certain players. We are in a win now mode because that will impact which direction we go, especially when you talk about the new owner.
Yep.
He's not going to want to sit and penny pinch money, because if you're taking over a new team, you definitely want to go and win automatically. It's all about wins. I always hear this thing about, Ron Rivera, he's a man of men's, great character, but it's not translating on the field.
right.
Yeah, we getting players, but we not getting the wins that we need. And if a new owner comes in and he sees this, if we struggle going out the gate next year, is he going to pull the trigger on Ron Rivera like quick? I say the first 5 games of the season will be the telling tape of everything. That's how, what direction is going to go. Like you just mentioned, Ron Rivera. Eric Bieniemy could be the guy. Certain Sam Howell is Sam Howell, which I like Sam Howell. Don't get me wrong, because I think him and Kenny Pickett will always be linked at the hip in that draft. Yeah. I actually had Desmond Ritter, Pickett, and Sam Howell 1, 2, and 3 that year. And I think those 3 quarterbacks still is going to be phenomenal. But like you said, is he, with the Lamar Jackson situation still lingering out there, there's no direction where the ownership may go from Sunday to Monday, because there's no idea. They might not make a decision. It could linger to May. It could go all the way past to probably the start of the season. So there's a lot of uncertainties there. So my second question to you is, who you want as owner? Is it Jeff Bezos? Is it Harris? Riles and Magic Johnson group, or is it Fatada, or is some other unknown person that we have not heard of yet? So right at this moment, because you hear reports come out every other day or every day.
Yeah. Like I said, I try not to get into all of that. I really don't have a preference on who we're bringing in. I'm just hoping that we're bringing in the right guy. It's kind of like, let's say, for example, looking for a quarterback, right? I don't have a preference. I'm not going to say I don't like Lamar. I'm not going to say I don't like this guy or that guy. Just bring in the right guy. I'm tired of getting my hopes up saying, hey, I want this, but this doesn't happen. So I don't even get into any of that. I just hope we bring in the right guy and a guy who actually understands how to run a franchise. I put up a tweet today. Daniel Snyder trying to run a franchise. This is a guy riding a bike, looking at his phone, and just runs into a truck. Okay, that's Daniel Snyder, right? So I just want somebody who's smart, who's wise, that's willing to be teachable and coachable. Just because you are at a position of power, being at the top of the peak, does not mean that you can't be teachable and coachable. So whoever that we're bringing in, hopefully he has a good circle of friends, good advisors around him. Say, hey, this is this situation. How can we approach? What do you think about this? It's always good to get ideas from smart people. So whether it's whoever, hopefully they're coming in with a group type thing to where they can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and then run this team properly. Like I said, let the GM do what they do. I don't have a preference. I've been a fan since 1999. We've been losers since 1999. Matter of fact, I think me and Daniel Snyder both joined the organization at the same time. So it might be my fault. So for whatever the reason is, crazy. I haven't seen maybe 5 playoff years since 1999, maybe 1 playoff win since 99. Yeah. So it's been terrible. So at this point, beggars can't be choosers, man. At the end of the day, the most important thing is to get Daniel Snyder out. I really don't care who's taking over, as long as Daniel Snyder's out. It can't be no worse than Daniel Snyder. One
of a great guy of mine that we talk on a basis. They be mostly viewing my content, or we be linking up sometime. And he said the same thing. I think his preference is Bezos, but he said it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because as long as Daniel Snyder gone. And Rich, I agree. Yeah. Daniel Snyder, man, I'm gonna tell you, boy, it's like being in a bad relationship and trying to get divorced at the same time. It's taking too long.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Cut you off. So do you remember when we still have a bad quarterback? We're still not great at the quarterback position. So do you remember, rest in peace, Haskins? When Haskins played, did you remember how bad of a player or how bad of a quarterback play we were getting from Haskins, right? To where at this point you're looking for any quarterback, right? You're just like, look, can this quarterback just come in and just be competent? Can he just come in and just be enough? That's the same thing I'm looking at looking for an owner. Can this guy just be average? It cannot be any worse than what it is now, right? And it's not one of those things where you get this owner, then you can now switch, You're possibly going to be stuck with this guy for the next 30 to 40 years. Yeah. So that's why I'm just hoping and praying we get the right guy. Because if we get another guy, it definitely can't be worse than Daniel Snyder. But then it could be on the same level or even.
Ooh.
So that's another thing. So will there be scandals? No. Will there be this? No. All that stuff is going to be squashed, right? But then as a business mind, is he smarter or is he less smart than Daniel Snyder? That's what's going to be the problem. Can he make right decisions? Can he make the right moves? They talking stadium. They talking all those different things. I let them get into all of that. I don't get into none of that, but it's going to be interesting. It's all about strategy.
Tamara said that we have where he's bad or just not coached up could have been mental with him because he knew Snyder didn't really want him. And that's true. That's what she's talking about, Dwayne Haskins, since we brought it up. And that's a true point. And she also come back and said that, but that's ain't my business. Let me mind my Cowboys business. I'm gonna get you for that. But she do have a point. But I think to your question to me, I'm gonna go back to a lot of years because I've been a Washington Redskins fan since the 80s.
Oh man.
The 80s era. Me and my mom grew up. My mom got me hooked on them. You know what I'm saying? So the time that I was really excited about the quarterback play when we drafted RG3.
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, I was so psyched. I was so hyped. And then after his career went derailed with the knee and everything, it took the air out of me. We have not had great quarterback play. Now, Alex Smith did do a little bit for us as coming in, you know, but it was nothing to really write home for, you know. Bless his heart, Taylor Heineke did all he could, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I love his guts and his glory, you know, but he still wasn't an answer. We spent money on a Carson wrench. I call him wrench, not doggone Wentz. And this dude for 3 seasons made $89 million for nothing. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. So I get it. But my preference of ownership, I will go with the Rouse, Harris, and Magic Johnson. Because I know what Magic Johnson could bring. I know what Harris could bring. Not so much I know about Rouse, but he's a great business mind. But these guys that's in sports, that has their hands on these things. You look at the Philadelphia 76ers of what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Under Harris. The New Jersey Devils, they're always in the NHL playoffs or whatever. Look at the Dodgers. They always at the top of the NL East, battling either the Phillies or the Braves, which the Braves is my team. So you know what you're getting with them clubs because of how these men operate. I don't know so much about Bezos. Now, I know about Bezos wanting the Seattle Seahawks, you know what I'm saying, because he's been wanting them for the longest. And maybe this is one way because even though he hasn't bid and people say, well, he still could come in. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, a person with a lot of money could do a lot of things. But you got to think and understand why he hasn't bought the Seattle Seahawks back then when he really wanted if he has all of this money. There's, you know, so my thing is a person with a lot of money could be dangerous. A person with less money could be just as dangerous. So I agree with you. It got to be the right person. It got to be the right mind that operates it, just like quarterback position. You know, people keep saying that, hey, we could still get this kind of quarterback. We could still go after Lamar Jackson. Or we'll give Sam Howell a chance. Okay, yeah, I'm all for all of that. But at the same time, like I just alluded to in the beginning, the new owner, I don't care if it's Bezos or Harris, and I think you know two front runners, they're going to want to win immediately. They're going to evaluate this roster. They're going to say, okay, we need to start winning games. They ain't no sitting here trying to continue to build and add pieces here. Okay, we could be adding pieces for the next 10 years. If we're not getting W's on the field, I don't care if Ron Rivera was a leading the Army, he's going to get fired. I already know what his record is from his Carolina days. One Super Bowl. He only really had, 3 or 4 good seasons in Carolina? You know what I'm saying? So, and look what he has done with us. Yeah, he took over a team. He added pieces. We still ain't transitioned. We missed the playoffs this year because he sat there and said he didn't know he was supposed to make the playoff. Me personally, if Daniel Snyder wasn't getting in the situation he was or selling this team, he would have got fired right then and there. So, me personally, I understand the logistics of it. We in a sticky situation at this moment. We right into a sticky situation right now. So, but we'll see as Sunday approaches and Monday approaches.
So you made some excellent points, but let me ask you this. I'm a big basketball fan. I'm a big Lakers fan. Do you know the Jerry Buss story? Not specifically because I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, but I know about more Chicago Bulls. So, but go ahead and allude to it. And So I'm just gonna make it super short. So I was watching the Lakers show. I'm like on episode 4 or whatever. So I'm not even gotten deep into it. But this dude had no money, right? Went and borrowed money, figured it out, bought the Lakers. Right? He went all in, bought the Lakers, right? That franchise blossomed to be something special. And then he became a household name. He's won all these titles, right? But do you know what made the Lakers successful? No, what's that? Drafting Magic Johnson. So it don't matter who the Commanders have until you draft your franchise guy, you're not going to have the success. So the owners, you can be a great businessman all you want. Michael Jordan is a great businessman. He owns a team that has never made barely makes the playoffs. The Hornets, they've done nothing. So it's not about who does this, does that. Sometimes you got to get lucky. I don't know how the Lakers got lucky enough to get Magic Johnson, but bringing in Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that whole franchise turned into Showtime. Then they drafting guys, James Worthy. They just continue to add, and they built a dynasty. From building that dynasty, now the Lakers are a powered franchise. Oh, this guy's a successful owner. There's a bunch of successful owners that haven't won nothing. It's not their fault. That's true. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Joe Burrow. Like now he done went to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now they're a household team. They're going to be in the playoffs every year. Patrick Mahomes, he's come in and changed the whole dynamics of the Chiefs. So when will the Commanders actually find that guy that comes in and turns his franchise around? Like you said, great point. 2012, RG3, I could have sworn was going to Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Even as a rookie, he came in with that fire, that swag, that flair, gave us something that I've not seen since 1999. That's when we had Brad Johnson, Steve Davis, and that team was special. We were supposed to be in the Super Bowl versus the Titans. So outside of 1999 and 2012, I haven't seen anything. And it all starts with the franchise quarterback. You got to get that franchise quarterback right. If it's Sam Howell, thank God. If not, this is a audition year for everybody. So whoever that comes in might just say, hey, let's just see what happens. I was even thinking that Ron Rivera was out. New owner or no owner. Like, this is year 4.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't win 10 games and win a playoff game, you're gone. It's not about making the playoffs. Look, the playoffs are not enough. 10 wins is not enough.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have 10 wins 2 years ago and even last year. So that's not even a bar anymore. Now it's making the playoffs and getting the playoff win. That's what's going to save Ron Rivera's job.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And if not, let's say that, like you said, first 5 games, all that crap about we start out slow. Nah, no. There ain't no starting out slow. There ain't no, the defense is, Everything has to click these first 5 games. We're tired of starting off slow. Yeah. Then you got to go ahead and win 7 of the last 9 games or 7 out of the last 10 games. Yeah. That's crazy. So these first 5 games is everything. You can see Ron Rivera being fired in season. Yeah. Eric Bieniemy, interim coach. You on the hot seat of Bieniemy because then you got to prove yourself. Yeah. Then Sam Howell, you got to prove yourself because guess what? If this goes south, we're drafting a quarterback next year with possibilities of even a whole new coach. So it's an audition for everybody. Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio. I'm tired of you too. This defense has to be on point at all times. So in a nutshell, to get this franchise turned around and what makes these franchises great is getting this franchise player. We took Chase Young. He hasn't given us franchise players vibes yet because he got hurt. And it seems like that injury always kills our dream. RG3, boom. Rookie of the year, boom, hurt. Chase Young, rookie of the year, boom, hurt. Then now where do we go next? Where do we go from here? So just want to point that out.
And to your point, because I'm gonna add to it, I totally agree. I totally agree. And the one thing that I look at this is that I called it. I said the first 5 games, I see Ron Rivera getting fired. Yep. I see the NFC East, the NFC in the totality. To me, there's only 2 strong teams over there. 2 strong teams, and they in our division. Now the Giants look like getting back on track. So you got 3 teams in our division. Detroit's looking good. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota's still there, but nobody really believes in them. Everybody else, you got David Carr that's in New Orleans. You don't know what New Orleans is going to be. And if we can't get 9, 10, 11 wins next year, I don't care what our schedule is. I don't care how hard our schedule is, because our schedule was hard this year and we still struggle to get wins. You know what I'm saying? We should have made the playoffs. We should have had 11 wins this year. I called it. I gave us 11 wins. The excuses is over with. Point blank, period. The excuses over with. Like you said, everybody's on a trial basis. You know what I'm saying? It's great that we got Eric Bieniemy, and I think Eric Bieniemy is going to add something to this offense. But defensively, we got to, and especially I'm about to switch gears into the next topic is why we had a linebacker that came in and we didn't spend money on him because now we write $3 million right at the cap, where we have to spend 2.96 on draft signing our draft picks, when you could easily restructure contracts. You could extend Curtis Samuel to save more money. You could cut Chase Roulier to save more money. You could cut Logan Thomas to save more money. You could restructure Jonathan Allen to save more money. I think next year going into 2024, I think we're supposed to have like $90 million in cap money. But at the same time, Ron Rivera continues to penny pinch when he knows that the linebacker position is one of the most crucial positions, especially if you play linebacker, you inject a real play linebacker.
Right.
Y'all gotta take care of that position. You still got Cam Curl that you need to extend. You can't wait, and then all of a sudden we lose people, and then we scrambling around trying to fill holes. Yeah, it's great that we bringing people in to plug in. I mean, what's the guy? Scott, the offensive tackle we just signed. He ain't gonna be no starter. He might get cut around preseason, trying to make the roster. You bring in somebody that might not even do anything for us. So why not go out there? I thought for sure that we was gonna go for Orlando Brown. You know what I'm saying? One of the top tackles, but the Cincinnati Bengals. And to your point, bringing up Cincinnati, we missed on quarterback on Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. So that's our franchise quarterbacks.
And Tua. To be real, it was Tua's name that had the hype. A lot of people, even GMs, Herbert wasn't even talked about like Tua and Burrow was, right?
Yeah.
So Herbert ends up going to the right situation. So it was a lot of different things. So he goes to the right situation. He has Keenan Allen. He has Mike Williams. He has Eckler. He has these weapons around him, right? He has the system. Lynn was doing his thing. He had the system. He had the success. If he didn't have these weapons as a rookie, what does Justin Herbert look like? If Justin Herbert doesn't go to the right organization, what does he look like? So a lot of times, it really depends on where you go as well. Let's say Tua Tagovailoa comes to DC. We draft him instead of Chase Young, because I was really tanked for Tua. Like, Justin Herbert came out of nowhere, Burrow came out of nowhere, and these guys just stole the show. So had we drafted Tua with this offensive line, he's out of the league right now.
Oh yeah,
with the concussion issues that he's having. So yes, we did miss on Burrow. We did miss on Herbert and also Josh Allen. But it's also sometimes you just don't know. But you gotta take that chance. And even if it means drafting the quarterback every year, or every 2 years, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You might think that it's a waste, right? But look at how many first-round picks you have to pay to get a Deshaun Watson, that you got to pay to get a Lamar Jackson, instead of just drafting a quarterback every 2 years. Hey, you bring this guy in, he's on his rookie deal, you bring in another guy. Compete.
Right.
Compete, because it's like, yes, it's a first-round pick, but it's so cheap to do it this way than to do it the other way, where you got to go pay 2-3 first-round picks to get this guy. Then you got to bring him in, then you pay him. So now you pay him, you got no money to pay everybody else, then you got no picks to draft anybody else. Then you just stuck. Yeah. So it's
go ahead.
One of those things, man. Yeah, not.
And honestly, like this year's draft, you got, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are the two top quarterbacks. Yes, I don't care about no Anthony Richardson. He's athletic. Project. He can't throw. He reminds me of Willis.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He can't throw, and he's athletic. Yeah, that's good. I watch enough college football to watch these quarterbacks and understand what they could do. Yep. I think Stetson Bennett could be a steal for somebody. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
He's small, but he could play.
He could play. Bryce Young, small. They about the same height, but they could play. You see
Hooker. People say he's old, but this dude can play. This dude, I prefer him to be old. Yeah, he can come in right now and play. What if the Arizona Cardinals draft this guy? Why Kyler Murray's hurt, rehab, and doing whatever? Yeah, he might come in, light it up. Now you got options. You can do
exactly. And then you got Max Duggan out there too.
Yep.
I said this today, that I get it with Mel Kiper and Tom McShay doing. That's their job to hype it up. Yep. But I watch enough college football. I watch all of these quarterbacks play. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, so I watch these guys close up in these same division. I watch them compete. Right. I know what they could bring. You know what I'm saying? And it's about getting that guy. Like Caleb Williams is supposed to be that guy next year. Me personally, there was an article, there was, I think, a tweet said that Washington might end up taking next year just to grab Caleb Williams.
Man.
Honestly, I could see that happening, bro. I could see the whole thing, like you said. We could go sideways just to get that guy.
Hey, after 5-6 games, if it's like, let's say we start our 0-6, look, play all your young guys. There's no reason. Trade deadline, you trade your vets, man. You get rid of some of these guys. Curtis Samuel, goodbye. Like all these dudes, you get them. Keep your defensive line, keep your trenches, but everybody else that's not helping us to produce wins right now, you get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. You just play your young guys and see what you got.
Even in this year's draft, if you got a chance to grab one of these quarterbacks, and I ain't talking about the top names, but one of these guys that could be, a potential starter, and he's on a rookie deal along with Sam Howell, you have options.
Why not?
Exactly, you have options.
It's so cheap. It's like if you take stabs. Let's say you take stabs. Let's say even every 2 years, right? Let's say 1 year you draft a first, second rounder. Next year you draft a third to fifth rounder, right? But you keep that going every 2 years. Just like my rule, you need to draft a running back every 2 years. You know why? You don't pay running backs. Like right now, Antonio Gibson will be a free agent after this season. He might not get the kind of money that he thinks he's going to get in Washington. Washington might just draft another back this year to take over for Antonio Gibson when he leaves next year's insurance policy. You now have Brian Robinson Jr. He's going into year 2. By the time he's going into year 3, you're drafting another running back. It's just the easiest way to do it to keep costs down. Look at Pacheco. Look at all these different guys that were, undrafted or whatever. So to fix this quarterback issue, you keep drafting them until you find them. Because guess what? Nobody's coming to DC. They look at DC and they say, no, I'm not going over there. People go to DC for their careers to be horrible. You know what I'm saying? So Carson Wentz might go somewhere and maybe it pans out for him. It just didn't work out for whatever the reason is, meaning it was Carson Wentz. But the easiest way to get a franchise quarterback is to continue to draft them. They say, yes, that it's like a lower hit rate if you're drafting these guys in the 2 to 7 round or whatever. Look, I named some names. Kirk Cousins, who we had, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, sorry, and all these other guys. So you can find these guys, but guess what? The more stabs you throw, you might get some. You might get some.
I agree.
So it's just annoying to say I'm not going to draft a quarterback because the hit rate is. You never know. You never know. You draft one early or you draft one in the middle rounds.
And to your point is that look at Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh. They drafted Pickett. They kept Pickett down for a little bit, and they said, "Oh, you know what? Let's turn it over to him." And look what he's doing. You're saying you gotta roll the dice, and that's why I think what Eric Bieniemy is going to help Sam Howell. But I'm not opposed for us trying to draft another quarterback this year in the draft.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to know because it ain't him. It got to be him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not banking my whole Washington season on some Josie Bissett. Now, he a great veteran, a great mentor. You know what I'm saying? I already know what he done. I already know he been. He played under Tom Brady, Garoppolo, and all of these guys. I already know what he could do. But at the same time, is that we gotta find that guy because we are going to continue to be in the same cycle, no matter who the owner is and wherever this direction this team goes. And now for my next point is for the draft. With the 16th pick in the draft, should we go linebacker or tight end? I already know my answer, but I want to hear your point.
So if those are my choices between linebacker and tight end, I'm going tight end. This is why. I know linebacker is a dire need. We need a linebacker. But do you remember what happened the last time we drafted a linebacker in the first round? See, I have certain rules. You don't draft a linebacker or a guard or a running back in the first round. And
say it one more time.
You do not draft a running back. You don't draft a linebacker. And you don't draft a guard in the first round. Now, if it's a Quentin Nelson guard, yes, it's like a generational talent, right? But if it's not, you can find these guards second, third, fourth, fifth round, right? Linebackers, you can find a lot of them in the second and third round. Look at Nick Bolton for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a beast. Where was he found? So you can find these guys. When you reach for these guys and they pan out to be like as of right now, Jamin Davis, we don't know what you're going to be. Are you going to be a starter? Are you going to be a solid guy? Are you going to be a guy like Cole Holcomb? When your contract is up, we let you go. if that's the case, it wasn't worth it as a first-round pick, right?
Yeah.
First-round picks are meant to be guys that come in and be staples, guys that can come in and be franchise guys, right?
Yeah.
Now, if there's a phenomenal talent at linebacker that you just can't miss, then you do what you got to do, right? I'm okay with that. Like a Michael Parsons, he was a linebacker. We didn't know what he was, but he was special.
Yeah.
He went top 10, and he's, So the reason I say tight end, if you get the tight end, this is a deep class. Class of tight end. I love at least 8 to 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, the safest, you can say Michael Mayer, right? You get Michael Mayer. He's a guy that can block. He's a guy that can catch. He's like your prototypical freak of nature tight end, can do it all. Or you can trade back, get you a Dalton Kincaid or Darnell Washington or one of these other guys. So it's just different ways that you can approach this. But if my options were linebacker, tight end, give me the tight end all day long. We need somebody dynamic at tight end.
I agree with you because that was my thing, because I think that's where I see Eric Bieniemy going, because Eric Bieniemy is going to help Ron Rivera a lot, because he could take the same philosophy how they built their team in Kansas City and apply it to Washington. That's one of the reasons why I love Eric Bieniemy hire, because now he could tell Ron Rivera, hey, this is how we did it over there. Look at this team. You know what I'm saying? Bring the same philosophy over. Yep. You need a tight end with the weapons we have. Washington, Kincaid, you know what I'm saying? You got a Will Mallory out there. You got all these guys. Now,
Luke Musgrave, so many.
Exactly. Now moving back for 16, I don't think Kincaid or Washington will be there, because teams going to want them and they're going to try to move up. Washington played that game last year. You know, we lucked up to get Jahan Dotson. And people sit there and think that was a wrong move. But I'm telling you, to me, Jahan Dotson is out of the wide receiver class. To me, he is the best, because I single-handedly watch him beast a whole Ohio State team by himself without a number two receiver against Wilson and Olave. Imagine if he didn't get hurt these 5 games, he would have been Rookie of the Year. He already had a touchdown record lead up. Just imagine what he would have did the whole season.
That's true.
So, but to your point, tight end should be the first pick. Then we should go and dress the linebacker in the second. Even get a running back in the third. Continue to dress the O-line situation throughout the whole draft, because we signed all of these undrafted free agents last year, and half of these guys, I don't even know where they went to. I was like, how we signed almost 20 people, and neither one of these guys.
Nobody hit, man.
I don't even know none of their names no more, because I did a video on it, and I was like, okay, I don't even know where these guys went to. And some of them I liked. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, they could really help this team. Man, I ain't seen none of these guys. You got Ron Rivera still bringing people from Carolina in, and you had Bradbury out there we could have got. I mean, so many people that we missed on in free agency last year, and this year was a little different, but we still could have got CJ Gardner. You know what I'm saying? We could have got him. We could have got the linebacker Walker. There were so many ways that we could have got these guys into where this defense would have been like boom right in your face. And then all we had to do in the draft, just focus completely on the offensive side of the ball. But I don't know sometimes. Sometimes I be wondering what Ron Rivera thinking is, because it's so head scratching to me. You know, it's like we have these guys sitting in our hands. You know what I'm saying? I ain't say we gotta go out every free agent that go out there. We gotta sign them, because I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But they gotta be the right fit for us. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the case why he ain't signing them, because they not the right fit, or he want them to sign for cheap, and they ain't not gonna sign for cheap. You gonna have to spend, not overly a spend, but spend enough just to entice them, say, hey, we want you here. Can you take $5 million, $6 million? You know what I'm saying? But if you offer them a 1-year deal with $3 or $4 million, these guys ain't gonna stay. They gonna go back to their own club. You know
now check this out. Here is what we know about Ron Rivera. Ever since Ron Rivera has been there, he gets guys that are on the come up. They haven't hit that stride yet, and he tries to get them on a deal. Sometimes they were good, but they got hurt. and he's trying to get them while they're hurt and while their value's down. Like Walker, he was hurt last year, so he was probably feeling like, man, you know what? Your value's down. Let me give you a 1-year prove-it deal. Then, hey, if you ball out, I'm gonna take care of you. Ron Rivera does take care of his guys. He does resign his guys. But what he does is he gives these guys opportunity, like Barton that we just signed right now. He just had a nice season, breakout season, 136 tackles. Look, he's going to bring this guy in on that cheap deal, and then he's going to hope that he can continue to go up and up and up. Like Darby, Kevin Pierre-Lewis, J.D. McKissick, Logan Thomas. He brings these guys in. They have a good story, and everybody starts to know these guys. Oh, man. J.D. McKissick had as many receptions as Kamara. Oh, my gosh, Logan Thomas. Oh, he should have been a Pro Bowler. So he likes to find these guys cheap. But the problem is, I think because of we're so top-heavy on the defensive side, defensive line, I think that's kind of how they want to build the team. So I think they want to re-sign as many people as possible on that defensive line. It's going to be tough to do Chase Young and Sweat, but if they can find a way, they will. How do you do that? You keep your quarterback costs down. That's why they're going all in on Sam Howell. It's not that Sam Howell is the best quarterback, but having that rookie contract, look at all the teams that have gone far in the Super Bowl or playoffs recently. Joe Burrow, rookie contract. Jalen Hurts, rookie contract. When Mahomes went the first time, rookie contract. So you kind of see the trend. Next year, you will see a Justin Fields. I'm not saying he makes the playoffs, but you're going to see them get better. They're already getting better because they're paying everybody else around them. Yeah. Once these QBs get the money, the teams go down. Dallas, they're just in a mess right now. Ever since that got that money, you know what I'm saying? Seattle, they just paid Geno Smith. But watch how the rest of their team is made. Sometimes the good GMs go and grab rookies like Seattle hit on 2 corners and hit on this and that. So when you can do that too, good drafting, good GMing, you can do some things. Yeah, but go ahead. It's just a mixture, man. So it's like I was with you. I'm like Orlando Brown, protect this blind side, get rid of Leno. I don't know what the cost is going to be. You get Orlando Brown, you give him $20 million. That's your most costliest guy in offense outside of Terry, but you already paid Terry. So now it's kind of tough. You got Terry, you got Orlando Brown. That means something's going to be lacking on the defensive side. So now you got no money to get you a star linebacker. Oh, you drafted a star linebacker and he didn't hit yet, Jamin Davis. Yeah. So it's tough. Then Cameron Curl.
Because he's still on a rookie deal, right?
He's on a rookie deal, but he's not giving you that premium performance. So you either get it through the draft or you pay for it. So for Washington, we've done it twice for the receiver. We've paid a superstar, and then we've drafted a superstar. So it kind of works. It kind of mirrors, right? Yeah. But when you're not hitting on your picks, and then you got money spread all around, you got to figure this stuff out. Like Curtis Samuel, he's expendable. Yeah. To save money. Logan Thomas, you're not productive anymore. You know. So it's like the smart GMs kind of figure it out. It's just a mix and match type thing, man. It's tough, man. I'm with you. We need the players. We need to spend, and at the same time, what's our philosophy?
And me personally, I think that with that philosophy, I think because we do got Montez, we do got Cam Curl, and we got Young. Now, I think Young is on a prove it because he's still on his rookie deal, and they ain't pick up his 5th-year option. Now, if they go to restructure Jonathan Allen, which I think he hit, and get him that bonus money up front, that's going to help out. I think if they do it with Terry, that would help out. Extend Curtis Samuel, because I think he will be a key asset for Eric Bieniemy. If you extend him, stretch his years out, then you saving a lot more money. I think with Kendall Fuller, I think he's older now. He's 29. I think honestly, him and Logan Thomas and Chase Ruley, I will cut them. I will cut them and draft their replacements. You still got replacements for him anyway. For Fuller, you could easily move up, you know what I'm saying, and still draft that cornerback, you know what I'm saying? And you have somebody younger that's on a rookie deal. You stretch out your money because I said that they are going to focus on signing all 4 of them guys. Somebody told me, because I did a video after Daron Payne, and I already told them, I said, they going to figure out a way to sign Young and Sweat to them long-term deals. They're going to find a way to restructure them contracts to stretch that money out. Once they lock that defensive front end, you're going to have that defensive exactly. You're gonna have that defensive front for the next 6 years. You already got Sam Howell, Brian Robinson, you got Jahan Dotson, you got all of them young corners, all rookie deals. You ain't got to worry about paying nobody for another 5 years, and then at the same time, you building up a Super Bowl, a playoff caliber team, and then that way you solidify that quarterback position. Whether if it's Sam Howell or one of the Keebler Ells, whoever it is, you got that guy in that position, and you don't have to worry about it. And this is how you build an NFL roster team. I watched how penny pinch Bill Belichick was for the last 22 years. Now it finally caught up with him, but now he's changing the dynamics how the team was back then with Tom Brady and catching up with the NFL how they are now. And look what the Eagles did, how they made that run to the Super Bowl. They had all the young talent. They drafted all that young talent. They made significant trades that even got better. This is something Washington has to take. And if they can learn anything, look at how Kansas City did it for the last 5 years. 3 Super Bowl trips. You know what I'm saying? You got sometimes, like you say, you got to. It's going to take a special GM to hit that guy, structure them contracts the way it's need to be structured. Not saying Ron Rivera ain't doing a good job at it, but I think he's still missing the mark to how he needs to stretch that money out to make it work for him a little bit better. So
I agree.
So I think I have one more question for you before, because I know you're on a time limit. You got to get ready to wrap up. So before we got a few minutes. So now that we talked about the ownership, we talked about the draft. I'm gonna ask you this point question: do you think Sam Howell is the guy? That's my last question to you.
I think he is. And I've seen a lot of quarterbacks that have come through DC. And when I see Sam Howell now, before I say what I'm about to say, I did like Kirk Cousins. I loved Kirk Cousins when he was here. It just didn't work out. Say what you want to say about Kirk Cousins. He can play. Okay? He doesn't play defense. So he's not going to look great when you are Kirk Cousins and your defense is bad, giving up. So, but we've seen Kirk Cousins be clutch and we've seen him be bad. But Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's a starting level quarterback. He's a top 15 quarterback, I would say. Maybe even higher. Now, Sam Howell, what I saw in a small sample size is a guy that can make all the throws. I know we've only seen preseason. We've only seen a portion of just one game in the season. One thing I know about quarterbacks that can play is that when they have weapons, they're going to utilize their weapons. We've had quarterbacks that couldn't even hit these guys in stride. We've seen Carson Wentz be inconsistent. Now we got to see more of Sam Howell. I think that Bieniemy is going to work with him. He's going to coach him hard, and if he's teachable and coachable, Bieniemy will get the best out of Sam Howell. Now, I posted something today on my Talking Commanders with Manny Twitter page. I said Jacoby Brissett. I think he has 3,000 plus yards for a career high. Over under, I think that Sam Howell can be at 3,300. Just being modest, just being let's just say we just get a regular Sam Howell, right? Jacoby Brissett has never had more than 18 passing touchdowns in any season. I think that Sam Howell can get to 20.
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's high in interception is possibly 7? It's 7 for the season. I think that Sam Howell could be at 10 or 12.
Yeah.
So even if he's at 3,300 yards, 20 touchdowns, and let's just say 12 picks. Was it a bad season? I won't say it was a bad season. It wasn't a great season. It was an okay average. But you know what? That's okay for a guy starting in his first full season. That's a success.
Yeah.
So I think he can do all those things with the weapons that we have. If this offensive line is shirt up, I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy Sam Howell. He's going to give you something better than what's his name? Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
But something in between RG3 and Kirk Cousins. Not quite that level.
Yeah.
But you're going to get something in between Taylor Heineke and RG3. And I'm excited for it.
And to your point is that I think Sam Howell is the guy. Because I watched him at North Carolina. Like I say, he carved up my Hurricanes. Even the year that he didn't have De'Ami Brown and all of them guys, he still passed for 3,000 yards. He ran for 800 yards. You know what I'm saying? He battled toe-to-toe with Kenny Pickett over there in Pittsburgh. So I've seen this. Now, they trying to build Drake May up to be that level. I just don't think he's going to be that guy.
Right.
I'm sorry. They always talk about Heisman, but there's a guy in Miami that's going to have something to say this year. And so, yes, sir. So I think Sam Howell's going to flourish. I think he's excited. I think he's ready for what Eric Bieniemy is going to bring to him. And he's going to utilize them guys. Now, I did hear that they are shopping De'Ami Brown. I don't know how true it is, but if they are, that is the dumbest thing they could do because De'Ami Brown is electric. Yep. He just needs this should be his breakout year.
Yeah, he has the quarterback that can actually throw the ball now.
He literally could be the Tyreek Hill to this offense and allow Jahan, Curtis, and Terry do the things that they do. He could be that guy. And if we draft the right tight end, man, dude, the sky's the limit. That's all I was saying.
Yes, sir.
So, Manny, I appreciate you, man, for your time and energy and everything. We definitely going to have to do this again.
Absolutely, man.
We got to do it again, man, because the draft is coming up, and everything like that. So, you more than welcome to come back, chop it up with me, and everything. So we do know how to get in touch with each other. So,
yes, sir.
Tell everybody where they can find you at, my friend.
All right, you guys can find me on the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. I do NBA, I do NFL, Dynasty, Fantasy. It's a buffet table. Show up, grab what you want, and then throw away the rest. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. You hear it first from Talking Sports with Manny. I'm your boy, LiveWire Sports Entertainment. You can always find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, same Facebook group as the same thing. And at the end of the day, somebody said we didn't discuss tomorrow. We touched on him a little bit. We didn't dive in too much, but at the end of the day, we know how it is. So until then, we catch y'all on the next episode, and we out.
After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.